Get ready to be transported into a thrilling tale. The movie opens with two men in a dark forest, their hearts pounding with fear as they try to hide. Suddenly, one of them hears eerie noises and decides to investigate with his machete. But their worst nightmares come to life when they are attacked by terrifying creatures. Amidst the chaos, one of the men, known as Number 3, is caught by the menacing Mogadorian Commander. The commander snatches Number 3's necklace, and without a moment's hesitation, kills him on the spot. As the dust settles, the commander adds the necklace to his collection, hinting that Number 3 is not the first victim. The plot then follows John Smith, or as he's called, Number 4, as he soaks up the sun on a beautiful beach with his friends. However, things take a drastic turn when John's leg begins to emit a bright glow, and he's struck with agonizing pain. To make things worse, John sees Number 3 warning him of impending danger. Onlookers gawk and make fun of John's strange behavior, leaving him feeling isolated and alone. Later, John wakes up on the shore and meets Henri, who becomes his companion in the mysterious events that are about to unfold. Number 3 and John are two such individuals. Each has been assigned a protector who is responsible for keeping them out of harm's way. When John's protector, Henri, notices a wound on John's leg, he immediately knows that Number 3 has met his untimely demise. Without delay, Henri whisks John away from his seaside home, erasing any trace of his existence to keep him safe from the Mogadorians, the malevolent beings who are after John and his gifted brethren. As they journey together, John reveals to Henri the terrible truth about their past. They are refugees from their home planet, which was destroyed by the Mogadorians. The Mogs have set their sights on the gifted children, seeking to eliminate them in numerical order. John's scars reveal that numbers 1, 2, and 3 have already been taken out, making him the next target. With the Mogs hot on their trail, Henri knows they must take extreme measures to keep John alive. They find refuge in a rundown home in Paradise, Ohio, where John discovers a poster of a football star named Bernie Kosar. As they settle in, a small lizard becomes their unexpected companion, and Henri does everything in his power to keep John's identity hidden from the Mogs, scouring the internet to erase any trace of him. Unexpected noises jolted the two companions inside the house. The tiny reptile suddenly morphed into a loyal dog, and John affectionately named him Bernie Kosar. At first, Henri was not keen on the idea, but John convinced him that the pooch was harmless. Under the cover of darkness, Henri stashed a mysterious box inside a wall clock, a keepsake from John's late father that he would receive at the right moment. Meanwhile, Number 6, another superhuman like John, arrived at their hideout, but John was nowhere to be found. Furious, she set the place ablaze but emerged unscathed, realizing she was fireproof. The next day, John had a change of heart and insisted on going to school. Against Henri's better judgment, John took his phone and headed out, with Bernie Kosar following closely behind. As he waited for his class schedule, John spotted Sarah, who was in trouble for secretly photographing a teacher. John found himself drawn to her, and the administrative staff assigned her to accompany him to his locker. Bernie Kosar joined them on their journey. When Henri called to check on John, he went unanswered. As John gets to know the group of boys led by Mark, he witnesses the bully mistreating a nerdy boy named Sam and snatching away his skateboard. John decides to befriend Sam and even returns the skateboard to him. But Mark doesn't stop there and continues to bully Sam. Furious, John throws a ball with all his might, hitting one of Mark's classmates and sending him crashing down. Meanwhile, Sarah is keeping a watchful eye on John from a distance and taking pictures of him. This indicates her interest in him, but little does she know that Henri is determined to keep John hidden from any danger. Henri deletes all of John's pictures on the website Sarah created, which includes an album solely dedicated to him. The Mogadorians, on the other hand, are hot on Number 4's trail and discover that he is still alive after finding the burnt bungalow. Back in school, John's hands suddenly emit a beam of light called lumine, causing chaos in the classroom. Henri senses something is wrong and rushes to the school to help John. In a panic, John runs into the janitor's room, attempting to turn off the light. When Henri arrives, John is relieved to see him and asks about the strange light coming from his hands. Henri explains that this is a sign of John's superpowers beginning to emerge. As they arrive at the mansion, Henri reveals that John will become stronger and faster, but only after he learns to control his newfound abilities. However, there's a catch. John is not allowed to return to school until he masters his powers. John can't wait to test his powers and shows off to the family dog before sneaking out of the house through the window. He puts his powers to the test by throwing a stone beyond the ozone layer and performing incredible jumps. Meanwhile, the Mog Commander is up to something, buying everything in sight from the grocery store and feeding it to his strange, massive beasts. As John goes for a walk, he runs into Sarah unexpectedly, and they hit it off. They notice Sam with his stepfather across the street, and Sarah invites John to her home for dinner. Over dinner, Sarah's parents reveal her passion for photography and suggest they attend the town's night carnival together. John joins Sarah in her room after dinner and comes across her scrapbook. He learns that she has an aversion to being photographed, and they are interrupted by his dog's sudden appearance. Meanwhile, Mark, the school bully, is green with envy as John walks away. The following day, Sam asks John about the beam of light that came from his hands, but John remains tight-lipped. Sam advises him to stay away from Sarah. However, a paint prank by Mark leads to Sam's reputation being ruined with his biological father, and Sam lashes out at Mark. John manages to keep his cool and walks away. During their conversation, Sam reveals to John that his father disappeared after becoming obsessed with aliens and believes that he was abducted. John sees Sarah in the hallway but decides to avoid her. In the meantime, Henri conducts research on Sam's father and discovers enigmatic signs and a glowing rock at an old factory where he conducted tests. He brings the rock home to study it further. As John was unwinding in his room, he received an invite from Sarah to join her at the Spring Scream Festival. While they were there, Sarah spilled the beans that Mark was her ex and had been spilling John's secrets since their split. Things took a sinister turn when John and Sarah decided to take a horse-drawn carriage ride through the woods. At Hell's Gate, Mark and his gang launched a surprise attack on them. As Sam watched from afar, John had to unleash his powers to save Sarah from Mark's clutches and even broke one of his friend's arms. After the ordeal, John walked Sarah home and finally got to lock lips with her. Excited by his newfound strength, John tested his abilities by crushing a lamppost with his bare hand. He revealed to Sam his true origins and cautioned him to keep it a secret. Unfortunately, the next day, a local sheriff, who happened to be Mark's father, interrogated John about the attack on his son. John staunchly denied his involvement, insisting that he wasn't paying attention. Henri watches with pride as John becomes more adept at using his powers, but their peaceful existence is shattered when a video of John writhing in agony in the ocean goes viral. Henri urges them to leave quickly, but John, who has developed feelings for Sarah, refuses to abandon her. Their disagreement quickly escalates into a physical altercation, but they're interrupted when Henri is suddenly kidnapped. With Sam's help, John sets out to rescue his protector and ultimately uncovers a sinister plot by the Mogs to hunt down the surviving children of Lorien. As they make their escape, Henri is fatally wounded and imparts a crucial piece of information to John. His father had used the rock to locate other surviving children of Lorien. Henri implores John to find his own kind and put a stop to the Mogs once and for all. Meanwhile, the conspiracy theorists who had aided the Mogs in their hunt for John are executed by the aliens. Adding to the chaos, local law enforcement raids John's home and accuses him of being a terrorist. Sarah starts to question her boyfriend's true identity, prompting Sam to reveal that he has another fragment of the rock his father discovered while searching for alien life in Mexico. Sam goes to retrieve the rock with the help of Bernie, while John heads to Sarah's house to set things straight. But things take a turn when the police arrive, forcing John to use his telekinetic powers to save Sarah from falling off the roof. As John and Sarah make their escape, the Mogs arrive and confront Mark and his father, demanding they lead them to John. Meanwhile, Sam alerts John that the Mogs have surrounded their school. Number 6, also known as Jane, joins forces with John and Sam to fight off the aliens. However, things get even crazier when Bernie transforms into a terrifying monster, causing chaos and destruction inside the school. Bernie comes to John's rescue just in time, teaming up with him to defeat the monstrous creature in an intense and thrilling battle. Despite his injuries, Bernie returns to his lovable dog form. As Jane faces a tough fight, she turns to John for a powerful charge of light, and the two work together to defeat the Mog in an epic showdown. On the soccer field, they face the commander and a terrifying monster. With their powers combined, Jane and John annihilate the guards and almost finish off the commander, but Jane is taken captive. John uses the lamp to help her escape just as Number 4 sets off a massive explosion, taking out the commander. Miraculously, Jane's fireproof powers save them both. The next day, they unite the Blue Rocks and locate the remaining children of Lorien. Mark unexpectedly gives John Henri's mysterious box. Sam joins the team, and John shares a bittersweet goodbye kiss with Sarah. But just when they thought their adventure was over, Bernie appears again, injured but eager for more excitement. Together, they leave town and embark on their next journey. If you found this video entertaining, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. And if it didn't meet your expectations, you can hit the dislike button twice to make sure your opinion is heard. It's recommended that you watch the entire movie to fully appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and be sure to subscribe for similar content in the future.